Hey class, so I'm analyzing the song Roll Away Your Stone by Mumford & Sons. So, it begins out with roll away your stone, I'll roll away mine. Together we can see what we will find. Don't leave me alone at this time, for I am afraid of what I will discover inside. You told me that I would find a hole within the fragile substance of my soul, and I have filled this void with things unreal, and all the while my character it steals. Darkness is a harsh term, don't you think? And yet it dominates the things I seek. It seems that all my bridges have been burned, but you can say that's exactly how this grace thing works. It's not the long walk home that will change this heart, but the welcome I receive with the restart. Darkness is a harsh term, don't you think? And yet it dominates the things I seek. Darkness is a harsh term, don't you think? And yet it dominates the things I seek. Darkness is a harsh term, don't you think? And yet it dominates the things I seek. Stars, hide your fires, and these here are my desires, and I will give them up to you this time around. And so I'll be found, with my stake stuck in this ground, marking its territory of this newly impassioned soul. Hide your fires, these here are my desires, and I will give them up to you this time around. And so I'll be found, with my stake stuck in this ground, marking its territory of this newly impassioned soul. But you've gone too far this time. You have neither reason nor rhyme with which to take this soul that is so rightfully mine. Okay, so I'm kind of interpreting this song as kind of explaining a relationship between two people. It's kind of comparing two rocks and saying how one is saying that, oh, when you lift the rock from the ground and the hole should be empty, but it's filled. And so I think that kind of resembles how one person in the relationship is guarded and their hole is filled, because it's kind of like their heart is filled with things that kind of doubt in the relationship and not really feeling comfortable enough to kind of express themselves and show who they truly are to the other one in the relationship. Because we know that in order for it to work between the two of them, they both have to be honest with each other and communicate. But if that's not happening, then the relationship won't work. So it's kind of this doubt between the two of them that, well, it might not work out, and it's kind of a scary thing that it might not. So I think this kind of relates to me in the way that, I'm a really guarded person too, and when it comes to meeting new people, I'm shy. And so I think that meeting new people and seeing what opportunities they could bring to the table is really important, and kind of coming out of your comfort zone and meeting new people that you might not talk to normally, but going in with the mentality of saying, well, I'm not sure how this is going to turn out, but it's worth a shot, and not just being scared of what could happen, because you don't know the outcome until it actually happens. And so most of the poetic devices used were metaphors, because when they compared things to, like I said, rocks and holes in the ground, and I think it's kind of they use that term because it's kind of easy to understand how if there's a hole in the ground and a rock is covering it, you don't know what's going to be in the hole when you lift the rock from the ground until you actually do it. So that's kind of easy to understand, but they took it deeper and turned it into a meaning relating it to life and the problems that we face. And also in the poem, they used not so much with there being a set rhyme scheme, but they used a lot of alliteration and consonants and assonance, which helped the flow of the poem. So things like when they're saying darkness is a harsh term, don't you think? So darkness and harsh with the assonance. And also when they were saying all my bridges have been burned, using alliteration. And also when they're saying hide your fires, these are my desires, and they're using consonants. So those are the three main things within the song that they're using. And also the connotation is kind of negative in the song. It's kind of coming from the standpoint, is kind of the perspective is from the viewpoint of the person that's guarded. It's kind of saying that, I'm trying to become better, a better person, but it's not working out. And it won't, so the relationship ended. But they never really gave it a shot. They just said they would. So the overall connotation is kind of negative, using negative words like afraid and alone. So I think that in life you just have to be kind of open with everything. Life is only so short, and we don't have time to kind of sit by ourselves the whole time when we could be making new experience out of things that we wouldn't normally do, but it could turn out for the better. But we don't know that it'll turn out for the better unless we do it. So you can't just assume that it's going to turn out bad until you actually try it yourself. So kind of relating it back to the song and the lyrics is that in the relationship, he or whoever wrote this song was kind of saying that they were scared kind of going into the relationship, kind of doubting it. They thought it would turn out bad no matter what. They didn't have a chance of saying, well, I think that this will work out. It's really going great. They didn't say any of that. So it needs to be more positive and know that things could turn out good in life. And yeah, so that's it. Bye.